morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about scams. As we know, around the festive season, they do seem to amp up quite significantly.
They do ramp up, yes.
So we're just going to touch on a few of the most common scams, what our listeners can look out for, and just basically ways to protect yourself because, I mean, the worst thing, you would not want to be scammed over the Christmas period.
No, it's not ideal.
No, no time's ideal, but...
No time's ideal, but over the festive season, money is tight, trying to buy presents, etc. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess one of the main scams that comes along around this time is online shopping scams, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. So online shopping is a big one. We've obviously got Temu and Shein and the rest out there. And I think some of the tips there are just purchasing from places that you do know. I'd be very wary of ads that are popping up in your feed in socials to sell the next latest craze or whatever it is. And you think, oh, that'd be a good gift for so-and-so. And you go there, it's a website you don't know. Then you are going to need to do a lot more checks around that. Like I would definitely do some Googling of the kind of shop name, see if there's any people that have bought from there, if there's any negative feedback. That sort of stuff does pop up quite quickly if it is a scam. So you'd be able to check for those sort of things. Other basics, like looking for a certificate on the site, that I would be a little bit more careful of, mainly because bad guys can also purchase certificates and it could look relatively legitimate. So definitely look for that confirmation from crowdsourcing, basically, would be a good idea.
Okay, because, I can imagine it'd be quite easy to get drawn in by those ads, especially if you're a bit stuck for gift ideas and that impromptu spend. So, that's some good advice there. Yeah. And I guess it's kind of not dissimilar around Black Friday sales as well.
Yeah, similar. Yeah. Look, anything where there's a bit of hype and, people are going to be purchasing more, they are going to be on a lookout for a deal or something like that, that is going to be capitalized on by scammers.
Yes.
It's the usual.
I guess another one that kind of goes in line with online shopping is the parcel tracking.
Yeah, parcel tracking, definitely. I think it's not that the scams are necessarily kind of increasing around that time, but a lot more people are going to fall for it, right? Because, we get those parcel tracking scams, and just to explain what that is, you could get an email going, oh, your parcel's being, redirected, or your parcel's being held at customs and we need further information, or your parcel's arrived at blah, just click here to whatever. So the idea is that people purchase through the year and get lots of deliveries, right? So quite often you do have a parcel. So then you go and click the link, right? But the idea is to just double check, did you purchase something? Who did you purchase it from? Who do they use for their shipping? Now that is something most people don't look at. It's just like purchase, right, it's arriving in 3 days, sweet. So who's actually doing the delivery? Is it Ozpost? Is it DHL? Is it who's actually doing it? So it is good if you can check. Quite often you'll get a notification that it's being dispatched to wherever, and you can see who the handler is of that package. So that when you do get the scam email coming through and it's a DHL, and then well, where I've ordered from is not using DHL, they're using Ozpost. So you're going to be much more skeptical about that DHL email, right? So that I would definitely check as far as you can, that look for who you're purchasing, who the things are. Now, I know what people are like. Generally, you're not going to take that extra step to go and see who it is, right? But you can check it retrospectively as well. So if you do get that email popping and it's from DHL, just pause. Don't click on the link. Go back to your original, sales email and go and have a look at who's doing the shipping, when it should be coming, etc. Just that little bit of extra checks before you click on that link. If you do click on the link, there's a couple of things there. your machine is not compromised instantly all the time. It could be though. So that's why we say don't click, right? But if you have clicked, quite often it is just a phishing email. So it is to gain that information. Generally your username and password. So they might pop up a site that looks familiar and ask you for your Microsoft username and password or your Facebook username and password to access something. So just be wary of what that looks like when you click on, right? Don't input your details anywhere if you're not expecting it. Doesn't look right. It feels off. Like trust your gut's instinct, I think, a lot of the time as well is a good idea.
I mean, that's some really great advice there, because I have definitely been known to not check to see who is delivering my parcel.
I think we all do it, right? Because you like normally you wouldn't have to.
No.
It's like purchase, it's coming in 3 days, sweet. Oh, I get a notification email, your parcel's coming tomorrow, click here. And maybe there are details missing. Like it could literally be legitimate, but take that extra time to double check, especially over this period, because we know there's a lot happening.
Better to be safe than sorry. And I was actually going to ask you what would happen if you did click. So
yeah,
thanks for clarifying.
Just to continue on that, there's a couple of things. Remember, you could also get this not just via email, right? So you could also get a text message.
Yes.
And that's quite common these days as well. So that's referred to as smishing. So it's the phishing, but via SMS. So smishing, they've got to come up with weird words. Right?
Yeah.
So with the smishing, it's the same sort of thing. And then it's clicking on the link on the phone, and then it's taking you to a login site. It wants your username and password, or confirm your credit card details, or anything that sounds like, oh, hold on a second. Don't, right? So look for what they're asking for. Look for like common things like urgency, things like that. Like your package is being held by customs. You need to give whatever information.
And if
that's quite common.
If you're ordering off Shein or Temu or one of those companies and you see that about customs, you would be kind of like, oh, yeah, well, I guess that could be right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think just taking that extra time, like you say, everyone's always in a rush, but it could be beneficial to take a couple of extra minutes.
You don't want to be in a huge rush and then lose your identity, and then they rack up $20,000 in credit card charges on a new account that you don't even know exists, etc. And it takes you 2 years to resolve.
Yeah, that's right. That's just more than a couple of minutes.
It's not. It's just not fun, right?
No.
So yeah, definitely take the extra time. A lot of people don't understand the repercussions of it. They'll be like, so what if they get like my detail? Like I've had that quite often. Or so what? Well, the so what part is if they get enough, like if they can, like maybe they just needed that one extra piece of information because they've already got your date of birth from some other compromise, and they can pull that data together just enough to get the 100 points of ID. Now they can open a bank account in your name. They could go and ask for credit, get a small $2,000 credit limit, and then they do that multiple times. And then all of a sudden you're dealing with lots of different entities that think you owe them money. And you had no idea.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because how would you know? If that was happening behind the scenes, it's only, I guess, when you start to get notices to say that you're overdue on payment and that sort of thing. And then I guess you go down a whole rabbit hole.
On that note, just to an extra step to protect yourself is you can go to credit agencies and actually sign up to like a credit watch. I've done that on a particular, I can't remember which sites it is, so we'll find the details and pop it up there. But it's basically a credit watch site. If you Google them, you'll probably come across some. But we'll try and find the one I've used. But basically, you'll get an email if there's any activity on your credit file. Now, if you apply for credit, even small, like a credit card, and it's a $2,000 limit or something on a credit card, that goes into your credit file, right? Because they do a credit search on you. As soon as the credit search happens, they'll actually email you going, this bank has done a credit search. And you go, hold on a second, like Bank of Queensland, I don't bank with Bank of Queensland. And why they're doing a credit. As soon as that happens, you call that bank and go and find out what's happening. So definitely go through to their security department, say, I think there's fraud happening. There's been this credit search, I haven't done it. And then they can start to look at it. They could put a hold on that account, etc. So you're trying to get ahead of that by having some sort of watch on your credit
That's
file.
really interesting. Is it like a subscription based kind of thing?
No,
Do you have to pay for it? It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Okay.
I'm sure there's ones that you would pay for.
Yeah.
I know the one I'm using is for free.
Well, I might have to check that out for myself.
No, we definitely need to check it out.
Yeah.
Everyone should have it in place, and it's a simple email. And normally they'll send you an email at least once a month, giving you your current credit score and things like that, if you're interested or not. Yeah. But the point is that credit file and who your creditors are, etc., and if there's any changes on it, that's quite important.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely get those details together so that we can share. We'll check it out for myself as well.
Yeah. Now, just bear in mind, I said your machine's not compromised always, but it can be as well. So if you do happen to click and it's more like it hasn't asked you for a username and password, it's like maybe it just popped up a screen and it's gone away, or it's blank or something like that, or it's popped up some window with an error and you've gone anything that it just looks weird, right? Something's happened, you don't know what, and you go, oh, that's weird, and you just close it. That might have installed software. Okay. And then that software could be monitoring your machine. So what it's looking for is it's an information stealer. So it's looking for your username and password and details when you log into banking and things like that. And it actually watches for that specifically and then pushes that data to the threat actor.
So if you do think that potentially that has happened to your computer, what would your next steps be?
So your next steps is then running a full scan on your machine. So if you have clicked and something's happened, right? Then whatever antivirus, anti-malware you have, whether it's Defender or whatever you've got running, just initiate a full scan on the machine initially. That would be the first step. Those should be able to pick up any kind of something that's been installed that's not right. With any luck, it would have stopped it from installing as well. Reboot your machine after that's probably a good idea, just to clear memory and so forth, get it back online. Once it's back up, if there's anything else strange happening that you're like, oh, that's a bit odd, or a window flashed up and went away, anything like that, you're going to want to call a specialist to come and have a look. So, yeah. If you're a business, right, then definitely call your IT team to have a look. Explain what's happened. The earlier, the better. Don't leave it, and let them run through the analysis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Hopefully no one will need to be doing this, but it is good to know what to do.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
It definitely happens. So, yeah.
So another scam that quite often is a bit more prominent over the festive season is charity fundraisers and gift cards, those sorts of things.
Absolutely. Look, they're probably two separate things, I suppose. The charity one is obviously playing on the charity of people, right? Doing good things. It's over the festive season. People are thinking more about that. So that definitely does come up. What could happen and what you're looking for is it's mostly a scam to get money from you, because you think you're paying, let's say, guide dogs. I'm donating to guide dogs. But what's happened is they've sent an email that's impersonating that organization. So whether it's guide dogs or whatever your favorite charity is, so it's impersonating it. They're making the email look like that. It's generally coming from a domain that's not theirs, but it might look similar, right? And if you think about it, there's lots of ways of doing that, whether it's changing letters and numbers out so it looks similar, or having a different word ahead of it. So if we'll take, I'm not picking on guide dogs, but we'll take guide dogs as an example. But if you've got like guide dogs, I'll just say it's guidedogs.com.au, like as an example. That's not their domain, by the way. Well, not in Queensland. But if you got guidedogs.com.au, you might have something like guidedogs.spotto.com.au or guidedogs.donation.com.au. Now that looks correct, right? But it's not, because you've got that donation or whatever the other word is before the .com.au. That's the important part. That's the main part of that domain. So it's kind of like if you work the other way around, right? So you work, right to left. You've got the AU, then you got the .com. The one that comes after .com is the domain that's important.
Yes.
Right? Nothing else actually matters. Right? So they could put whatever they like there, whether it's Microsoft or Guard Dogs or, whatever. If there's a different word before that .com, that's the part that should raise the alarm bells for you. So whoever the organization is, right, that should be the name that you recognize. In other words, go Google it, go to the actual website and look, right, that it's that name, .com or .org.au or so right after those last one or two. So those are known as top level domains, right? So the AU, the .com, the org, the edu.au, all of those are your top level. So the very next one should match the company.
Yes.
You should recognize what that is. So if you've just got that au.com random word .the company, Amazon.
Yes.
Or it's not. So that's what you're looking for. When you see the link. Now, in the email, they're going to hide the link. And what I mean by that is the link says guidedogs.com.au. Click here to donate now. So you go, that is the recognizable link. Now, you've probably heard before to hover your mouse.
Yes, I love a
hover. So if you hover the mouse, it will pop up the URL that it's going to. If that matches, right, so it's guidedogs.com.au as the hover, then you know, okay, they're not trying to hide the URL. That's the URL that I can click on, and you'd go there, right? What they can do, though, is you hover and it pops up and it's got that guidedogs.randomdomain.com.au. Then you are concerned. Like, no, this is probably a scam. The best thing about it, though, is if you get an email, and even if it's a scam, and it goes, donate, and you go, I should do that. I've been meaning to do that. It's a good time of year to do it. Just don't click on the link in the email. Go to their website, go to the donation page and do it there.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
because
Or
all
call
charities
them.
would have like a
Of course they
donation
would.
page.
So don't do it through the email anyway,
Yeah.
right? Just go and find it. But yeah, you can hover, see the link. You can see if they've changed it. The only difference there is quite often these emails go out from a campaign manager. And what that means is quite often it might not come from that domain. It might be coming from like MailChimp or Zoho or etc. And those are valid. And that's but that's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if guide dogs are using Zoho or MailChimp or whatever it is. So just don't click on the link in the email. If you go, that's a good idea, go to their website or give them a call.
It's really only one extra step, isn't it? To
Exactly.
go from an email to their website. It's
Absolutely. And then this gets probably maybe a little bit harder on a phone. So again, you got that whole that SMS type scam. So it comes through, donate now. You've been thinking about it. Maybe you've donated before. Now, it's even worse if you've donated before, because if they mimic the number, right, it will actually come up as guide dogs. So it looks valid to you because you would have seen all the previous SMSs from guide dogs and go, and they'll have the link and you could click the link, right?
Wow.
And it will be going to the wrong place and you'd be donating your money elsewhere. So again, just don't click. I know this is absolute pain.
Well,
that's
SMS,
what's happened.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
That's
that
where we are.
SMS one is a good red flag to point out, because I have been known to do that myself, to just scroll through and go, I've corresponded with them before.
Absolutely. So look, Telstra and the telcos are doing their best to stop that sort of thing happening, but it's not 100%. It used to be a lot worse. I used to do demos, actually live demos, when I was doing a presentation, and I would literally send an SMS from two people sitting next to each other, from one to the other, just to prove how easy it is to do.
I feel like you might have done that to me when I first started.
I think I did. I think I did. That's to make sure that you are well aware not to trust your phone.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. All those years ago.
Yeah, look,
Still
and
remember it.
I can't even do that at the moment, right? I'd have to go and find another service that would allow me to do that, because they are locking those things down, as they should. Absolutely. So it is getting better, but it's not like I on my phone, I've seen a couple. Like ATO would be another one. Tax fraud scams. But before we get onto that, you also mentioned gift cards. Very, very common. Now, what happens with gift cards is that is not normally, how this normally comes about is it's normally the boss or someone with authority in the organization. And it's normally organizational as opposed to personal, I would say. And quite often it would be like, the CEO sends it to the CFO or to their aide that helps them or admin and goes, hey, I've been thinking about just Christmas every year. We've always got to come up with gifts. I know it's complicated. How about we just do, it's a $100 gift card per person, for Christmas. Let's do that. So if you could pop down with the company credit card and just purchase, $50, $100 gift cards. And then if you could just email me those numbers so I've got them for my records, that kind of thing. And people do it. So I think it was maybe 2 years ago. I was actually in Melbourne on a cybersecurity conference, and we were on our way back to the airport, and we got a call from a customer that had fallen for this. Oh. So we were like, oh, okay, and then had to quickly walk through where we were. Luckily, it was only $1,000 in this case, and it was it might have been Apple vouchers. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. Always be suspicious of an email, especially around this time.
Yes.
Asking for gift cards, and it's easy to resolve, right? You just call the person to double check. That's it.
Oh, exactly.
It's kind of like accounting when a supplier or someone's changed their bank account details, and you get the email going, "We've changed our bank account details." You don't just update the system and then pay because it could be fraud, right? So the way around that is a two-step system whereby you then calling, obviously not off that email, but you're calling the known contact off your contacts database, and you're calling them and you confirming the change. Same. So you call your CEO, whoever requested, and go, hey, are we doing these gift cards? And if they go, what gift cards?
Yes, that's...
Then you know. At that point, I would definitely let, again, your IT or your cybersecurity team know this is what's happening, because it could have gone to other staff members. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that everyone knows that you're essentially being targeted now to try and extort money from the business.
Because I guess it's a numbers game for the criminals, isn't it? Just
to
send out those emails.
From a personal perspective, I have heard of, it's normally, again, unfortunately, it's normally the elderly. And I don't know if they're specifically targeted, probably not. It's just that's the demographic that will generally fall for it, whereas they've got some sort of debt. I don't know whether it would be a tax debt or something like that. And again, the criminals ask them to go and get gift cards. So you might have seen at the cash registers or at the gift cards place in Woolies, at Coles, etc. They've actually got notices up, and they've had them for well over a year now. They've had those notices up going, if anyone's asking you to buy gift cards, it's a scam. Have you seen that?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you'll see it at the cash registers.
I'll have to check it out next time I'm there,
definitely.
which will be anytime soon.
So, yeah. So they and staff are aware as well. So if they see an elderly person with a stack of gift cards, they will come and ask and stop them and see what's going on. So...
Oh, I hadn't heard of that. Yeah, I haven't actually noticed that, but I don't generally go to the gift card section there, so I'll have to...
And apparently the other one is these crypto ATM machines now. So same sort of thing, where the person thinks they're investing and they're going to get a lot more money out of and it's a crypto scam that's been running. And the end game of that is literally getting them to go and move or deposit crypto into their account, into the criminal's account. So, and it's off one of those machines.
Well, these cyber criminals left no stone unturned, do they?
It's like any criminal, right? Yeah. You're just going to find the next thing that you can work with and then use that. If I can use technology to make it quicker and easier, then that's what's happening, unfortunately.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So you were just going to touch on the ATO as well, which I know we did have a chat about earlier.
Yeah, not so festive.
No.
But it is around the season though, and you'll see a lot of ATO scams around this tax season because we've just passed the end of October, which is that deadline for individuals to get their tax in. It's quite common then to get maybe an ATO message going, your tax has been reviewed, or some sort of notification, right? Like you're expecting notification. Yes. That's the point. So scammers know that. So they're going to be sending those notifications going, oh, your tax return's done. We just need one final bit of information or something like that. And you expecting it, so you not thinking about it. You're going, oh yeah, like, oh, how much I'm getting back.
Yeah.
Click, it goes to a site. It looks like the ATO. It's not. And then you've either giving away your login, right? So hopefully you've got MFA and everything turned on for that. So you may be giving away a bit of information. But they might be asking then going, oh yeah, so for your credit, we just need your account details or your credit card number and you know that you've given it, right? It's in your tax return. So they shouldn't be asking it. That's the type of stuff where you should be like, hold on a second. So it's just to be wary.
Definitely
worth
highlighting.
Very common.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very common.
And as you say, we're all hoping for that tax return, that refund.
Yeah. Or worse, they'll send that message and going, you owe $11,000. And you'd be like, because you thought you were getting $2,000 back, and now all of a sudden they're saying you owe. So now your heart rate's jumped up, your blood pressure's jumped up. You're like, what? Like you're not even, you've clicked the link. You want to go see what's happening. And of course they're going to ask for details, and you're just going to want to get in there as quickly as possible going, what is going on? Why am I owing $11,000? I don't have $11,000. People will panic.
So everyone just needs to slow down.
That's literally the point. Yeah, so slow down, look at it. You know you've done your tax return and it shouldn't be that. Just have a think. They're definitely going around and there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we touched on that then.
Yeah.
Are there any other scams that you can think of that we should be on the lookout for?
Look, those are the main ones. And as we've spoken through this, we've mentioned email, still primary, right? So quite very, very common. SMS, common, being used. Both of them are very, very efficient for them to use. Like I said, the SMS one's sometimes a little bit more difficult to spot because it might fall in line with someone that you've spoken to before, whether it's the ATO or someone else. So be wary of that. Calls, actual calls, we haven't touched on, but it's similar to anything else where you might get like this robotic type call, right? Just bear in mind that we do have AI doing voice and that, and it's going to make it start to sound quite realistic. So that could come up as well. So there was one a little while ago, you've probably read about it as well, where they're talking about where like a parent would get a call from like their daughter or son going, oh, this is my temporary number, because I've lost my phone. I just need $1,000 to, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So that's normally done via SMS, right? Just be aware that could move over to impersonating the voice. So it could sound real. And I think, as a parent myself, if I got a call and it sounded like my daughter, like generally you're not going to question it.
Yes.
So you're going to have to keep your wits about you of going, okay, that sounds like, but she wouldn't be asking this of me. That's odd. And the general advice for families is to actually come up with a code word that only your family use. So sit down at dinner tonight, come up with a word. If you're ever in trouble and you need to like verify yourself or whatever it is, so it's an out of the ordinary type situation, use your code word so that only you do not discuss it with anyone that's our family secret, etc. And that's it.
Yeah.
So that is a good one to use and think about.
Yeah.
So if that call comes through, all you would have to do, like even though you're pretty sure it's her, right, or him, you just go, like, this sounds weird. What's the code word? Generally, you're going to get the hang up at that point. Right?
I mean, that's a really good suggestion. And when those SMS ones were going around, my mum did get an SMS.
Did she?
She did. And I was actually out to dinner with a friend, so I didn't have my phone on me. And she tried to ring me and I didn't answer. And then she was like, at least she had the nous to actually ring my husband and say, I've just had this message. Is everything okay?
Perfect.
And he said,
your mom is thinking.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he said, oh, she's just out to dinner. No, everything's fine. Must be a scam.
But if you want to send the money, here's my account.
Yeah.
She can pay for that dinner.
But yes, I mean, I do talk to her about, obviously because we talk about it all the time, and you know, she's in her 70s, but she's pretty switched on.
Nice.
But yeah, I always talk to her about those things because you just
comes up, and it's
does,
getting
and especially
worse
like you say
worse.
with the voice, that's even scarier.
It is scary. I like that. Like, it's not a lot yet, so I do worry about where that's going to go.
Yeah.
And some of the videos that you're seeing now are starting to get so realistic. Like at the moment, you can probably still tell there's bits where you can see that's AI, etc. It's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to tell, and that is a bit scary.
Well, even those few examples that you've done and shared on LinkedIn is pretty.
They're definitely out there, and they've got so much better since then as well.
I know, because that was actually probably a few months back when you when you did those.
Well, you've had like 3 or 4 different new models come out since then, like Sora 2, etc. All really, really good at what they do. So. Yep.
It's happening.
We will see. We will see. There have been video ones that companies have been targeted, but they tend to be the larger ones. Like there's some famous stories that go around, and they are true, where it was, I think, the CEO of Ferrari got called, I think it was. So I think that was just a phone call. But there's been others where the person came onto a Teams meeting, and it was a full AI
oh my goodness!
system. So okay.
There's all sorts of avenues for them.
Yeah, and I do think that's when they targeting those larger organizations, because it takes resources. But the problem is, as with all technology, that becomes cheaper and cheaper and more available. And as it becomes more available, then those scams are going to increase and target more people. So at the moment, your ASX listed bigger companies are going to get targeted, but eventually everyone's going to get targeted. So
something to look forward to.
Yay.
So we'll probably wrap it up there. I was just actually going to say though, I know we've touched on lots of different scams, if you could maybe share like your top 3 tips just for keeping on top of it over the festive season.
Yeah, look, the top 3 tips pretty much don't change, right? It's making sure, I think right at the top is updating your software, right? So people still don't do it. Businesses don't do it, or not properly. So making sure you updating your PC, your tablet, your phone, whatever it is. So update the software, and don't forget to update the applications as well. So those are big ones. Passwords. Like there's no cybersecurity conversation without talking about passwords. Yes, I know they're a pain. Maybe this Christmas you should get yourself a password manager.
Give me a present to yourself.
Finally. Look, you can get free ones, so it's not even like, but if you want to purchase them, there's some great ones out there. Password manager. So the idea around this is using long, complex passwords, and you're not going to remember long, complex passwords. No. So password manager is the way to go. The other thing is password reuse. So don't use the same password on all the different sites. Now, for the average person, we've got well over 100 that we need to remember. You can't do that. There's no way you can do it. I mean, you might be genius and you could. Okay, so there's a few, but very few. Use a password manager. So like my passwords, where it allows you, like mine are like 90, 99 characters long as a password. Why? Because I don't need to remember it, right? It's in the password manager. It's like someone goes like, so what's the password for your, I don't know, Facebook account? It's like, I have no idea. I don't know what it is. It's long and complex and it's in my password manager, right? However, it doesn't stop there though. The third one is obviously MFA. So multi-factor authentication. Turn it on everywhere. So this doesn't matter if it's individual for personal or it's for business. It's just as critical. So any application that you're using should have MFA on. So social accounts get targeted a lot, you know. So whether it's Facebook, Insta, your TikTok account, etc. Just bear in mind, if they can get access to any of these things, they can use that to then gain more information or scam other people or get your more identity information. And then you're in that identity issue anyway. So update all your software regularly. passwords, don't reuse them. Use a password manager. Make sure you've got MFA or pass keys if you can do that, like Google supports pass keys, etc. Get that switched on. Those would be the top 3.
Okay, I feel like you want to keep going, but
there's lots. If you just did those 3, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. No, well, that's some great advice, and good to point out all those potential scams that could be coming our way, and just what to look out for, and that sort of thing, so that everyone can hopefully have a safe and stress-free Christmas.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
Will do.